Toronto was in a fever such as the world has not seen since the first liquor store opened after Prohibition. This great city, center of the known universe, pace setter of the nation's style and taste, home of a truly world-class shoe museum, is in a collective ecstasy over an American sport dominated almost entirely by American players. Mr. Steve Nash, a Canadian star, is like the one raisin in a cheap scone. Toronto has a basketball team named after one of the smaller, though ferocious dinosaurs, and please, I'm not referencing Jason Kennedy, the raptor. According to paleontologists and Steven Spielberg, raptors roamed the Earth during the Mesozoic period, the age of reptiles, or Trump era, and went extinct 65 million years ago, which was, come to think of it, just before the Maple Leafs last won the Stanley Cup. For the last several weeks, the placid citizens of TO, hipsters like me call it the Six, have been jamming to Air Canada Centre like the revivalists of old, counting down the minutes to the world's end. It's rapture time for the Raptors. There hasn't been this level of glee and excitement near Bay and Young since Bob Rae's NDP government breathed its last, or the final episode of The Littlest Hobo. In trying to understand basketball fever, it is best to regard it as one of the stages of sports grief. Toronto sports fans have been so long without a sport or a team to cheer for that they will latch on to anything. Lawn bowling, cricket, horseshoes, tiddlywinks, if it would help them crawl out of the abyss of various losing streaks and the epic collapses that haunt the city's sportscape. Consider the trauma of May 13th, 2013, a day that will live in hockey infamy. The Maple Leafs in the third period, Game 7, leading 4-1. Clearly alarmed that victory might be at hand, they rented out their net to the Bruins, widened its mouth, and stood aside till it was 5-4 Bruins. It was a highlight in the Leafs' long, brilliant recession. Comparisons to Custer's last stand or Napoleon's retreat from Moscow understate the tactical brilliance called upon to lose that game. Out of such humiliations has grown Rapture's rapture. Toronto is parched for something to cheer at. However, there are evening shadows even in basketball. Last night in Cleveland, perhaps in honor of the Maple Leafs, the Raptors executed a perfect somersault into the losers column with a Grand Canyon gap of 116 to 78. Which shows, though the Raptors have played well, there remains that the prospect of victory, of an actual win, will exert its powerful dread, and that the familiar melancholy of traveling down the highway of broken dreams and unrequited enthusiasms will be Toronto's once more. For The National, I'm Rex Murphy.